morning, everyone. Shubhodaya, Bengaluru. I think the energy which Siddharth pours, no one can match with it, and that's why he's here, right? He will ensure that no one is sleeping in the auditorium. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. I will quickly tell you what FinNext is all about and what ETBFSI is in just 4-5 minutes. But before that, let me tell you, Bangalore is my favorite city, not just because of weather, but the filter coffee. And more importantly, I always feel that it's not a tech capital, but perhaps a coffee capital because every nooks and corners is filled with the coffee shops. And more importantly, the energy and the innovation which happens in Bangalore is always mesmerizing and magnetizing. Most of the times, the fintechs tell me that they want to launch their app in the Bangalore because the kinds of user case studies which they can have in Bangalore can nowhere else. And today I came by a cute, the Bajaj vehicle. It's a quadricycle, right? Which is nowhere in the world, but nowhere in the country, but it's in Bangalore. So one more important point I want to tell you this is that how many of you find QR scan codes very boring? It looks like an X-ray, right? Just a square with the language which you don't understand. Somebody from Bangalore showed me this. This is where the generative AI is going, and this is where the new QR scan codes are coming up. Look at the innovation. This is the QR scan code I generated for myself. I added my picture also. You can go to Google Lens, scan it, and you will land on LinkedIn page. That's why I love Bangalore. So, friends, I would like to tell you something about ETBFSI first. We are obviously carrying forward the legacy of economic times, which is presented to 3 verticals: television, print, and digital. On the digital side, we have number of portals because we believe that catering to one particular segment is the need of the time. And that's when we started talking about different verticals. So we have etbfsi.com, which talks specifically about BFSI. We cover fintech very aggressively. And if you go to the website, you will realize that NBFC, fintech, insurance, and whatever that falls into the BFSI segment has been covered diligently. We have more than 1 million page views and few 100,000 loyal users which visit our website every day. And that's where we are growing. These are one of our important IPs, or must say, the editorial initiatives that we have done. ETBFSI explains, which is nothing but a FAQ kind of a things. Many of you perhaps will not understand what is account aggregator, what is OCAIN, the new terminologies in the financial sector, which we try to explain in ETBFSI explains. Then we have a couple of summits. We do some 4 IPs every year, adding 1 or 2 more. But Editor's View, Fintech Diary are one of our important IPs where we try to drill down and try to decode, demystify what's happening in the BFSI space at a large level. So these are some of our important segments. Moving ahead, when I want to talk about specifically fintechs, the segment which are covering very specifically, I see there are 2 important points that the fintechs are going ahead, and that's why we crafted a team called Fintechs at Crossword for this FinNext Summit. The one important aspect of today's fintech segment is they are going through a fintech winter. In fact, let me tell you, most of the cities except Bangalore are very hot. The summer is bummer there, but the fintechs are going through a shivering time, and this is what the funds they have raised. Imagine the 2020, 2021, and 2022. That's where we thought that we'll try to decode the funding winter and try to see what is the next hope for the fintechs. So this is one segment where we see a lot of challenge that the fintechs are facing. And the other pillar which we observe, where we found a lot of challenges that the fintechs are also facing. In a way, that's a developmental challenges, but short-term challenges will be more, and that is regulatory challenges. More than 10 regulations that the RBI has crafted in last 1 to 2 years specifically for fintechs. And the recent one, FLDG, or the digital lending, which many fintechs have thought that it's a lifeline that the RBI has given them. But ultimately, execution, translating, compile, risk, mitigation, all these things are not easy for the fintechs. So these are the 2 segments that I think are very, very important. One is the funding winter, and second is the regulation. And how fintechs will find way out of this tunnel will determine their success going ahead in the future. What next for fintech? According to the observations that we have, or according to the research that we do at ETBFSI, or according to the fintech interview which we have done with more than 100 fintech founders and CEOs at Fintech Diary, this is what I think, I strongly feel that will work maybe in next 2 to 3 years. The payment credit revolution is happening. The payment journey has already moved to the cross-border payments. But I think credit will democratize more, specifically with account aggregator. Then credit on UPI, cross-border payment. New segments which are already getting really interest is wealth tech, insurtech, agri-tech. Interoperability will actually help a lot of fintechs moving ahead. OCANE or Ocean, whatever you call it, Open Credit Development Network, is another point which will actually democratize these segments. 4 years back, I still remember I was talking to somebody from Singapore, and he was a well-known figure there in the fintech space. And I said, the kind of innovation happening, I feel that tomorrow the Swiggy boy or the Zomato delivery boy will come to my home and he will not only just deliver my food, but he will also say, hey, can you buy insurance? Do you want some loan? I can give it to you. And he says, perhaps it will happen. But now it started already happening with OCANE, right? Now, how aggressively they will create the business model out of it, I don't know, but that's already started happening. And what next for fintechs, apart from what I just spoke about, the business models, I think will be a real challenge is integration, FOMO movement, Me Too movement, because most of the fintechs also got into the picture and started thinking about, I don't want to miss the bus. That's why many fintechs, though they were doing really good in payments, they started getting into the credit business. I think these are the challenges which will be there, which fintechs will have to actually think about. Digital chaos is going to be there, how fintechs will find their way, because ultimately one person can't have more than 10 applications, perhaps even 10 is a large number. So if one super app can give him everything, so that digital chaos will be there, competitions will be there. And more importantly, when I speak about the funding winter, my sense is spring is close by. How long, we don't know, but spring is close by because the deals are still, deals have started happening with the fintechs, those who have a strong business model. Quickly about ETBFSI FinNext Summit. Friends, this is our second FinNext Summit. The first summit we did in Mumbai last year, but we had combined it with NBFCs. But considering the potential of the fintechs, we thought that we'll do a specific dedicated fintech summit and in the tech capital. So here we have some more than 40 speakers talking about 8 to 10 important topics: fintech at crossword, regulatory landscape, navigating funding winter, the future of digital lending, how the fintech and financial institutions are collaborating with each other, and so many topics that we have crafted specifically for you. So I would just like you to enjoy the day and take back great learnings at this summit, meet the people, share your feedback, and just enjoy the FinNext. One more important thing I would like to tell you is this, that don't restrict yourself from sharing your feedback. We need it. Post on ETBFSI FinNext with the hashtag, and click your pictures, click your selfies near the FinNext. We need it because, as I said sometime back, the digital chaos is everywhere, right? In the world of influencers, sometimes the good content is not being reaching to the right people. So help us promote and share your views, and more importantly, enjoy the summit. We have lined up a great day for you. Thank you so much for listening to me very patiently. Thank you.